Since nobody else is going to tell you this, I will. Praying for your next level of income and overflow while staying loyal to the version of you that never finishes is like standing at a locked door waiting for somebody to open it while you holding the key in your hand. See, you're asking God to open something he's already gave you access to, but you just won't turn the key. And you're expecting God to multiply what you still refuse to move on. See, every idea God gave you was never just a thought. It was a strategy for provision. And that idea was the seed of your next level. But instead of planting it, you still asking for rain. Here's the truth that nobody wants to say. You're not waiting on a new word, a new confirmation, a new sign. He's already giving you an instruction, an idea, an assignment that you still haven't moved on. And God doesn't keep sending new blueprints when you haven't built the last one. He keeps pointing you right back to it because the breakthrough you've been praying for is still sitting inside the last assignment that you abandoned. Finishing isn't a productivity hack. It's spiritual warfare. It's not about time management. It's about territory management. Every unfinished thing God told you to do leaves territory unclaimed. Space where doubt, delay, and distraction can live rent-free. But when you finish, you're not just completing a task. You're closing spiritual loopholes that the enemy used to keep you stuck. And every time you complete what God told you to do, you launch the business, you start the thing, you're not just checking a box. You're literally taking up spiritual ground that used to belong to fear, doubt, and procrastination. And every time you choose obedience over overthinking, you're warring for the woman that you're becoming. And each moment you act in obedience, you're breaking partnership with the old identity that needed to feel ready, perfect, or validated before moving. You're literally training your spirit to trust God more than your logic. You're fighting for your future self every time you stop entertaining the lies that keep you looping. And I used to start everything and finish nothing. I didn't lack ambition. I lacked agreement. I kept building as the woman who doubted her power and then wondered why nothing ever moved the way it was promised to. But when I broke covenant with her, money started moving at the speed of my obedience. You do not learn to finish. You become the woman who no longer negotiates with her calling, and you decide, I am the woman who finishes what God starts. And you decide that you'll no longer dwell in the, well, let me get ready first energy. Or that self-help loop that says, I need another thing before I move. Because when your identity catches up to your assignment, your entire life starts moving on command. Finish what God started. Because when you have a God-given idea, that's God starting something through you. Your income, your impact, your increase, they're sitting on pause until you finish what God told you to start. The wealth is waiting on movement.